What do they say when you get on a boat?
Dope Nostalgia presents
All aboard! Let's go!
Get ready
Right
for Sail Away Sunday.
Hey, here we go!
One, two, girl, I see ya. Just sipping tequila. On her third shot of tequila. Está loca de la cabeza. 4, 5, 6, I see ya. Round 7 tequila. From every nation. We're sailing away. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, Live it up. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, mama. Hola, Live it up, girl. Live it
It's time to join me with some special guests as we relive the Sail Away to Half Moon Cay NKOTB Cruise 2022.
Hi.
Hi. Well, I want to thank all three of you so much, Ashley, Samantha, Allana. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Dope Nostalgia.
We're excited to be here.
We're doing we had mixtape Mondays, which was a project that we did obviously during the summer, and now Sail Away Sundays, because a lot of us too were first timers on the cruise. What about you guys? How many cruises have you done each before?
So this was our second cruise. We've all of our new kids shenanigans we attempt to do together. So 2018 was the first time that we finally did it. We had been talking about it forever, and so we were second timers this time.
Oh, wonderful. I only met you guys together briefly at the hotel when we were getting ready with to go get to the port. But yeah, for your adventure. Well, first of all, I should go to the point where we were talking about you guys used to have a podcast on YouTube, and tell me about how the podcast started.
It started because we both are entrepreneurial and decided to do something that would be kind of creative, and we both love pop culture. So it actually started with Allana and I, and Sam has come on as a guest host or for our big New Kids on the Block cruise special that we did. She was on. So it started just wanting to do something that was pop culture related, but also local event focused or local business focused. And luckily we have a very good friend, all three of us, called Bruce Hoyer, who is the owner of Next Edge Academy. Sam used to box there with Bruce, and he had a really awesome setup and allowed us to go in every week and film our show. And then he would put it all together. So we just kind of would show up and get our guests planned and then go for it. And then he would do all of the uploading of everything for us. So it was really nice.
Oh, that's super cool. Super cool. Sorry, I got to make sure I say your name right, though. It's Allana.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's all right. It's kind of a weird spelling, so I just go by whatever.
No, I'm used to having my name pronounced wrong, so I always want to make sure I get it right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so then the podcast, what's going on with it lately? Is it not a thing at the moment?
Well, the pandemic hit, and so our friend had to close his gym down because of the pandemic, or just close it. They had to go virtual only. So because of that, we had to stop. And then both of our careers got insane in 2020. And so now we still do little snippet things, little mini things. But we are hoping eventually to bring it back. And I'm closing this window. We're hoping eventually to bring it back in just maybe a different reiteration than it was before.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's funny because actually I remember talking to you guys about block action. Do you remember that NKOTB block action thing?
Yes.
That's still happening, but it's kind of been how it was something for us to do during the pandemic to kind of bring people together. We're still doing it, but it won't be as often because everyone's kind of got, everyone's busy. We've got our lives to live. And plus the new kids gave us so much this year.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That it kind of helped fill that void for a while until the new kids could do something. So
now things are just rolling. So it's there's so much other things happening.
Yeah. Well, we'd always be happy to have you guys come down, join us for some of our events too, but we'll be doing that in January January is the next
We're
one, so I'll tell you more.
we're into all the shenanigans.
Good. Getting into the cruise experience for each of you. Starting with the very first day with Love Eternal and the themes. Were you guys in group A or group B?
B.
B. A lot of my friends were in group B. And so for Love Eternal, how did you guys dress up, and how was that night for all of you?
Sam, you should go because you had the only one who had the costume that we
Intended.
that we intended work out with.
So because when they announced the cruise and we thought that we were being like super creative the first time around when it came to like, because I think the nights were like 20s night and we had like a super creative, like we wanted to be kind of like out there, not what everyone else is doing. And then they changed all of them, which was fun. I really liked the theme nights that they had. But the one for Love Eternal, I was like sitting there thinking like, well, everyone is going to dress up with hearts and red and whatever. And so we were trying to figure out like, how could we do that, but in like a different way. And so I think it was me. I'm going to claim for it anyways. I was thinking, well, nothing loves more eternally than a vampire does. So we as vampires, I had a cape. Those guys had like super cool red outfits. And then Ashley had the great idea to get like fangs. And so we had tried to get these fangs with like these denture gels. So we were at the little coffee shop, like asking for hot water so we could try to get our like fang dentures in. And so we thought we were being super cute. They were cute, but I think Ashley's never worked. Elena's worked for about 5 minutes. Mine, I at least got onto the Lido and they were there. But I'm almost thankful that they didn't work because number one, you couldn't drink very well with the fangs in. And number two, I had this ridiculous lisp. So we got out there, people figured out we were vampires and then all of our teeth fell out. So then it was we just looked like gothic chicks, I guess. That was fine.
It's a very smart plan though. Like to do the vampires. I love it.
It would have been better off for us to get those cheap, like dollar store fangs, you give away at Halloween time. I mean, that probably would have been a good idea, but we thought we were being like extra creative and it is what it is.
Sometimes it just doesn't go according to plan. That's okay.
That's fine. We were cute gothic chicks. I mean, so there's that.
Absolutely. There you go. Bring back the time night. What did you guys do for that theme?
So we were 80s classic wrestlers.
Nice.
So I was Ric Flair. I bedazzled an entire robe.
I was Macho Man Randy Savage. So I had like the cowboy hat with the mirror glasses. And then I wore like a full wrestling singlet.
I saw that. I totally saw that. I swear. Were you guys up on stage that night?
No, that was a different group. We were not, we thought we were being so creative. And then Sam was.
I was Hulk Hogan and we walk out like, and I, whatever. And I like turn to the right and there's a Hulk Hogan. And so like, we like, ha, funny. And I turn to the left and there's another Hulk Hogan. And I was like, oh man. So there was a different Hulk Hogan on stage, but I think she did it better anyways. So it's fine.
The one thing that the other wrestlers did not have though, is we had a WWE belt with us. So we kept like jokingly having little fights in the crowd to like see who would get the belt.
I should have had it ready. We had a tiny little folding chair we kept hitting each other with.
See, that's way more fun. Way more fun.
Forget getting up on stage with the guys. We were having fake fights in the crowd.
No kidding. Okay, here's the thing. It looked like it was really exciting to be up there, but then I was like, how do you get down? What if you have to go to the washroom?
Yeah.
You don't get to go get a drink. You're stuck there.
That's, we had friends who got up the last night and they had a blast, but it was kind of like, okay, you guys go up there. We'll take your spots. We're going to have fun right here. And we'll just wave at you up there. And they, I need to go to the bathroom when I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Exactly. There should, like, if there's a little escape route, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised that they don't do that though, because in 2018, after 2018, I was like, yeah, I'm sure that that's a lot of fun, but I don't want to get up there because I was watching people like, and you could tell at some point in time, they were just kind of like over it. And there was no way for them to get down. And so that's what I noticed with this too, was I was like, oh, that would be fun to be up there. However, like I don't know, I'm just stubborn like that, where I like to move where I want to move. And these guys would turn around and I'd be like off to bed, because that's just the way that I am. And so I was like, I'm sure they're having a blast and it would be a cool experience. However, I don't know. I like to be able to do my own thing too much. And they kind of look like they're trapped up there.
Agreed. Like I like to go and visit people and see how they're enjoying the party and dance with them and do stuff. But it looked really cool to be up there. If you could be up there for maybe half an hour.
Exactly.
Rotate everyone through, bring new people up.
Yeah. But like I said, it's only my first cruise. So I everything to me was brand new except what I've seen on the show.
Yeah.
on Rock This Boat. So
and I'm sure you saw what the cruise actually is so different from what that show showed it as. So it's fun to watch it, but we've always recommended to people, we're like, watch it with like a very small grain of salt, or however that phrase is, like grain of rice, whatever it is.
Salt.
yes, I totally know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Halloween Harbor Nights. What was the plan then? What did you do?
So I'm like the Marvel fan, Marvel Studios, Marvel MCU stuff. And so we decided to dress up as well, you guys go first, because mine doesn't make sense if I say it first.
Well, Sam.
I was Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was Hela from Thor Ragnarok.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah, it was fun.
You guys put a lot of effort and planning into all the costumes. I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
that's definitely our personality though. Like Halloween is a big thing with our family. We go to a thing called Hairball, where it's like this cover band and they do like nothing but 80s music. It's wonderful. It's awesome. It's a very Midwest thing. I think they're growing. But we like totally dress up with the fake tattoos and everything for that. So this is like nothing different than what we always do as a family anyways.
Oh, that's amazing.
What were you for Halloween?
Well, for Halloween night, I dressed up as Jordan in the Hangin' Tough live video.
Yes.
I didn't really look like him, but I tried. I tried to recreate the vest and the belt, the Batman belt.
Yes.
So I put it together with like upholstery tacks and vinyl, and it spent a good few hours trying to make that belt. So I managed to get to him by when he was leaving for the night, when Maverick was taking off for the evening. and Sean was the security guard, and he's just like, hold on, Jordan's coming. Just wait. And then Jordan turns towards me and I'm like, I made your belt.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny when you finally meet them face to face, the thing that comes out of your mouth is never what you've practiced in your head for years, right? It's never that.
No. And I'm like, I've only got a few seconds to say this. So he didn't really give me much of a reaction, but he took my phone and did the selfie, and then we were good. Then I did my happy dance, and then I went and got drunk with everybody. It was good.
Perfect. Jack.
You are our kind of people, man.
Mission accomplished. It was done. Yeah, no, it was super fun. But yeah, so I was also going to say, you had a bit of a recap the other day with Donnie on Instagram Live, correct?
I did. Yeah, so Melanie is a new friend. We actually didn't even meet on the cruise. We were on the cruise together, but never met. And just kind of through TikTok connected, and we came up with this idea to do like a PCD therapy session. So very positive, no complaints, just like, let's talk about the things that made us happy and just kind of continue the happiness on. And yeah, so Donnie joined the comments on Instagram, and then Melanie sent him an invite to join us on screen, and he answered it. And
so it wasn't planned at all.
No,
that is so cool.
No, I mean, we had messaged him that we were doing it, so it wasn't like a complete surprise that he was in the comments. But I mean, the Celtics were playing first off, and he's filming Blue Bloods right now, so we had no idea that he would join us. Or even in the conversation, he said, "I've got 10 more minutes," and he stayed for an hour and plus after that. So it was really a blessing. It was so nice.
It was really cool to watch. Do you still have it up on your social media? Because I definitely want to watch it again from the beginning.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to, they can go Melanie, who's at Melanie B as in boy W on Instagram, has it on her Instagram in 2 parts. And then I actually just edited it for YouTube. So I'll have it on our Gacke Girls YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com// I should know that. Gacke, Gacke Girls, Girls.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We'll make sure we share everything. And I'd love for you guys to send me pictures of each of your outfits too, because we're going to put that
sure.
into social media.
Definitely.
Now, for each of you, tell me some of the highlights of things that happened to you on the cruise that you're just like, wow, that was amazing.
I have one, and again, like we are big onto the boy band is a bonus idea, right? We're there because of our friends. The boy band is why we're initially there, but then it's really about our friends. And the very first night, and I know this is maybe even Sam's. Well, Sam wasn't there. Sam went to sleep. This is Ashley's maybe, but it's mine for sure. It got to the end of the party and the DJ usually shuts down and the DJ kept going. So the guys were gone. People start clearing out because the guys are gone. And the DJ kept going. So there was a group of probably like 40 of us who stayed and had the whole Lido Deck to ourselves and had like this private dance party for like an hour after everybody had left. So it was just like some of the people that I just was so excited to see and am closest with, and the DJ, and we're all dancing and just like not a care in the world. And it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
It was, I mean, and it had nothing to do with being on the ship with New Kids on the Block, besides the fact that their DJ was playing music. It was just like, it was beautiful. So that's definitely my favorite moment.
I love that you were able to all find each other in that moment too, because a lot of the times we'd be searching around for people and just running into them because there was just so many.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I
it's
think
good that
we
you
were
all
really-
got together.
We were really lucky because a lot of our friends, we just naturally found each other every night. So there was a group of probably 20 of us,
Yeah.
25 of us who are all pretty close, including our whole photo group, which is kind of absurd that, you know, you don't expect to see your photo group every night. We just kind of always ended up in the same spot. And we have, you know, we're all goofy goobers. So we had a good time.
Wonderful.
Sammy, what was yours?
You know, I was thinking about that because I was one of them. Like Ashley and Allana are very big into the social media aspect, and I kind of like just stay back in the shadows just because that's more my personality. But I still have managed to meet a lot of people through social media in between our first cruise and then this cruise. And so even before the cruise started, we went to this like karaoke night for Joyce Battle's birthday. And when we were there, that was my chance to meet a lot of these people that I have already grown to love through social media. And so even before the cruise started, it was like the perfect opportunity to finally meet them in person. And we just had a blast.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, like, and then over like during the course of the cruise, then we would see each other again, but we had already established this like super fun relationship. And I honestly think that made the cruise even more enjoyable because like Ashley and Lena would be up doing their thing. And somehow I would manage hanging out with these people that I just like kind of first met, you know, just a couple of days before. And we had this like fun relationship. So I think for mine, it was just all of those little interactions with people that I had already decided that I loved, but I finally got to meet them in person. And then we like had the whole entire cruise to create this like really fun friendship. So I just think about all of those like little times, but it all started with this like fun karaoke night.
I am so glad that you guys went to that too, because we were the other karaoke night.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we heard that Joyce was having one. I didn't know Joyce yet. I got to meet her on the cruise and chat with her, and she's such a lovely human. Like,
Yes.
I absolutely
One of the
adore
best.
her.
Yeah.
So, and I like her like straightforwardness. I find it so refreshing and awesome. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And we talked about how we had our karaoke, and I kind of think maybe for next year we should just do one all together and make it maybe a tradition to have some kind of a karaoke warm up before the cruise.
Well, we actually did one before Fenway too. Again, I believe it was Joyce who set it up. Was at Fenway. I can't remember where it was at, but we did a karaoke bar, a big group of us, and a lot of the same people. So it'd be fun to figure out a place that had like the capacity to do a huge group of people.
What was the venue you guys were at?
Gosh, King. So it's about 30 to 40 minutes outside of downtown Miami. So it was a little trek to get to, but it was, if anybody is in the area of Miami, Fort Lauderdale and looking for a wonderful place, it's a bowling alley. And then they have options for private karaoke parties. Their staff was incredible. It was a beautiful venue. It was just everything was awesome. Like it went so well. I know Joyce gave a really good review of them on social media, but it was a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that you guys had that happen. That's great. Yeah. I'm a karaoke host here in my city. So that's why it was like so important to me. I'm like, this is my wheelhouse. We're gonna sing together.
That's
It's
cool.
gonna be
That's
great.
a job.
Yeah.
It's more complicated than you would think. Like there's a lot of balancing acts going on when you're hosting karaoke.
Yeah.
Didn't you post yourself singing karaoke too on social somewhere?
I probably did because I did give it to you.
Yes, that's what I saw.
And I did Baby I Believe in You after I'd had a few drinks and I was attempting body rolls and thrusts. I haven't seen a video of that, probably for the best. And then I just found the video yesterday, one of our friends sent to me of it's Adrian and Chrissy singing This One's for the Children and Amanda Knight, DJ AK, and myself doing backing dancing for them. Sexual, inappropriate dancing.
Karaoke's
Well,
like a blast.
so I finally found that video. So that'll be going up pretty soon. I was like, I really wanted to see that one because, wow. But I wasn't so drunk because, we had to save it. We had to be like ready for the next day for the big cruise to start. So,
Oh yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you is as a first-time cruiser, that entry into the ship this year is not normal.
oh, really?
Oh, we waited for 4 hours in line in 2018. It was like a cattle call. They didn't have times. We literally just all lined up hoping like when we could get on. So it was a huge line of people to get in and it took hours. This time was spectacular.
Oh, it was so slick this time. And I think part of it was after COVID, they were trying to keep everybody from, congregating. So having those times, we couldn't believe how fast it went.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Not only that, if you showed up before your time, you still got in smoothly.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a suggestion than a rule.
I was doing an Instagram live right outside while I was waiting to meet my roommate. And it was funny because I felt like we were like doing the red carpet. Like, who's coming next? Oh, hey, you guys. You ready to board? It was so fun. Yeah.
That would be a super cute idea for like a social media thing though. Like the New Kids on the Block red carpet, like entryway onto the ship. That would be a super cute idea. And like paparazzi cameras.
All right. Next year.
Next year. Done.
You guys can be co-hosts. Let's do it.
I'll message Donnie. I've got an in. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. Right. Not doing that.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dope Nostalgia listeners, I love you and I thank you so much for being a part of this show and its success over the last 2 years. We have what's called Patreon for those who want to support the show financially. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a subscriber and get bonus content, early podcast release, all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff, and more. There's different tiers of membership starting at only $1 a month. And we even have some special merch for you guys who are in it for the long run. So please join our Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/dope nostalgia.
It's the new kids on the block. Joseph, Jonathan, Jordan, Donnie, and Danny. Who's their number one fan?
I'm the number one fan. I've got all 5 concert kits with all 5 personal interview cassettes. I am. I've got all 5 concert kits with their cassettes and the new kids stage, plus all 5 kids in their street clothes. I'm the number one fan. I've got all the kids, their stage, and the new kids on the block phone.
The new kids on the block. Who's their number one fan?
I am.
New Kids on the Block concert kits come with cassette, stage, hanging loose kids, and accessories sold separately.
Another really cool moment too was Rat Chat.
Yes.
Getting to see the Chair Chatter girls and Chris and Adrian getting that moment to have so much fun with Donnie and John. wow, I was just speechless. The whole thing was so entertaining.
It was super funny. We actually met. Started following Chair Chatter before the cruise. I believe, I can't remember who suggested it. I think Adrian may have suggested it. But then from Rat Tail. But then the first night at the game show, they were sitting right next to us.
Yeah, we somehow ended up with like different people we know from like the podcast internet world, all very close to each other. So it was funny because we sat down and we're like, I know you.
Yeah, so we got to know them before they even got up on stage. So it's like we already like knew we loved them because they're genuinely just sweet, sweet girls.
So Sam got this adorable video of her and Sab because Sab is like 4'11" and Sam is 6'1".
So yeah,
nice.
of her, like she looked over at me and she's like, "You're really tall." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "How tall are you?" So she like came over and I was like, "You just have to like, just trust me, just come in for a hug." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, oh, this is nice." Cause she just snuggled in. It was adorable.
It's a cute video.
Oh, I love that. How did your photo op go?
Really good. One of the husbands, we had a husband in our group. And so he was kind enough to go kind of start the spot for us right away. So for our group, we were the second group in. So, and behind us was a group of friends as well. So it was nice. We just sat around and it was much different than the 2018 wait for the photo op. That felt like it felt like it took forever. And we drank a lot. And this time we didn't do that so much.
Well, we weren't as nervous because we never did a VIP even before our first cruise. We always would go to the concerts with friends. And so it was hard to get everybody to agree to that ticket price.
Yeah.
So the three of us were like, okay, we're doing the cruise. We're making it happen. So that was our first meet and greet ever. So our nerves were insanely high to go through. And this time it was like, we've each done at least one meet and greet during tour.
It wasn't as nerve-wracking. And we last time didn't know our photo group very well, where this time they're, extremely good friends and, people that at that point we'd had 3 nights of parties with. So, it felt a lot more safe, I guess.
What was funny though is the Donnie selfies, because our meet and greet, it's like your meet and greet photo is always very like, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
And I'll have to send it to you, but I ended up in the back of like 6 people, everybody in line before me. I ended up somehow in the background of their Donnie selfie, and every single photo I'm making some kind of ridiculous face. And it's
on purpose?
No, I was talking to Danny.
I love that. And I love that Danny's in a lot of them too, because Danny's like looking directly into the camera for so many of them.
I thought it was just funny because Allana had so much, like every picture was so funny and ridiculous, but every picture she had like a true amount of sass, which she's not a sassy person, but somehow all of these pictures, she has this look like a judgy, sassy look. And it's like the opposite of how Allana actually is, but somehow this picture like grabbed like the one time she is sassy and like it a couple of different ways.
And then you just kept getting closer and closer and closer. Oh, that's good. Did you get to meet any of the family members or anybody else on the boat that was like, a part of the new kids entourage
bubble?
We've met Chance several times, so that was nice to see her. And God, I don't think we did.
Well, you did poker with Macky.
Oh, I played poker. I forgot about that.
How was that? I haven't talked to anybody about the poker experience yet.
Well, I have a unique one. So I didn't know I was playing poker. We were in line to get on the ship and a woman said, "Oh, Gacke Girls, I'm playing poker with you, Ashley." And I was like, "Huh?" And then she pulled it up and showed me my name, that I was in the first group, the 10 o'clock group to play poker. And I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm playing poker now. And then I sat down to get ready and Macky was sitting next to me. So I got to talk to him for quite a while. And he actually, random enough, like a year and a half ago, I did a Facebook Live and we're Facebook friends. And he like popped onto my Facebook Live and was like asking me pictures about fishing. So I brought that up to him. I was like, we've actually talked before. And then we talked about that. But the poker tournament, the first group went very poorly because no one on like the staff of the ship really knew what they were doing or what was happening. So they didn't call time for us. We went for about 45 minutes before someone questioned it. And then the table stopped working.
Wow.
And they had to reboot the table. And the risk was that we may have to start over. And at that point, we were already over an hour into it. So 2 groups had already been pushed.
Oh,
So every group was supposed to have half an hour. And at the end of half an hour, if you were the chip leader, you went on to the final round. So luckily, the person who was the chip leader at that time, when they redid everything, ended up still being the chip leader. So she was really happy. And Sam actually got to hang out with her a little bit.
Oh, why can't I want to say
Carol.
Carol was a gem, but it was such a chaotic event though, because they were like, well, and the poor woman working was trying her hardest to like make everyone happy, but they're like, well, we might have to turn the table on and everything might be reset. And there was like 5 or 6 people that were already out. And there was someone who was very clearly winning the chip count. And so we were like, well, why don't we can't you just like edit it and say like, this person has this many chips, whatever. And they were like, no, we can't do that. But when they turned it on, this sweet woman, and I think Carol has won it before.
Carol's won the whole tournament before, I think.
Yeah, I think so
wow.
too. And she was this like just gem. And so I think when we went to go do our photo group, whatever, she was sitting there because I think that they were supposed to be getting close to like the championship. And I think that there were still like 2 or 3 more groups, but I think she was scouting her like who she was going to be against, but she was adorable. She had a little bit of sass to her too, but like, oh my God, Carol was so cute.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys had that experience. And I know there's got to be some more things that came up that, you know, I'd love for you to share before we wrap things up. Some other like really exciting moments.
The dancing in the dining hall, in the dining room. Have you anyone talked to you about that yet?
No.
Okay. Sam started it. So Sam, you should tell what happened.
I did not start it per se. So I don't think a lot of people went and ate in the dining hall, but both Ashley and Allana have gluten-free, celiac, and the dining hall was actually probably the safest option for food. And we went to the dining hall maybe like a couple of times in 2018. I remember one time and that was it. So we went, and so we sit down and we have the cutest waiter, and like everyone working in our little area was adorable and so sweet and kind. But all of a sudden on like they announced and they were like, what did they say? It's showtime or something funny like that. And all of a sudden you hear music going and you're like, what's happening? And pretty soon everyone working breaks out in dance, but they have like a choreographed dance. And the next thing, well, if there's music, I will be dancing because that's just, my body just does it. And
nice.
So we are standing up dancing, and pretty soon there's like 2 or 3 people that come and join like our dancing, and we're dancing with the wait staff without doing the choreography, but they're doing it and it's hilarious. And then this cutest, like I think he was like a grandpa or something, came over and danced with us too. And that was like night number 1. So it's like, if this is how every night is, we're coming back here every night. And sure enough, every night they would have showtime, and it would be a different song, but they would still have the choreography for it. It was amazing. But we sat in the same spot every single time because it just became like a thing that we were going to dance with the wait staff. It was the best. And so we were explaining this, like, oh my gosh, how much fun was showtime in the dining room? And everyone was like, we don't eat in the dining room. And it's like, no, you have to go to at least our dining room if you can and eat there one night, because I don't remember that ever happening. And I thought it was adorable.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Great. They did such a good job. But everyone working there was phenomenal. I don't think we ever ate anything that wasn't great. But like our waiter was the cutest thing. I'm trying to remember what his name was.
Everyone was telling me you have to have the lava cake. I don't know if that's gluten-free. I don't think it is.
They had some sort of chocolate fondue type thing, and I think they called it lava cake, but it wasn't like cake-like. It was just like
it wasn't
pudding.
It was like warm pudding with like a little ball of ice cream on the side.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really good. That was gluten-free though.
Oh, thank goodness.
Mhm.
Isn't that nice when that kind of thing happens?
Oh, I
Totally.
love it. Yeah. Well, so for me, one of the things that I thought was such a treat on this boat is in 2018, Joe was supposed to do a solo thing and it didn't end up happening. Oh, did you find this? There's our server with Sam.
His name is Sang.
Yes, and he
Yay.
was the best.
So Joe finally being able to do one this year was, I've never seen a solo Joe performance. And like, I was never a Joe girl, and I still hesitate to move into that territory because I've got some friends that are Joe girls that would be like, nope.
Lane change is not allowed.
Yeah. But I have such an appreciation for him now because he just commanded it, and he has such a gorgeous voice. And to hear him go, to be able to hear more of his like Broadway style singing as opposed to new kids singing was, I was so thankful it finally happened. And I'm so glad that he was able to do it because it was great. I was so impressed.
What I learned about Joe on this cruise, I've always known that he's got a good sense of humor, but he's hilarious.
So funny.
His competitiveness is so funny too. And he's always about the rules. Okay, let's revisit the rules for every game. But like, he's
have
just
the
so
opposite.
funny.
Yeah. And Cruise Joe is Joe, but it's just, you're getting a concentration of him, which is really,
It's off the cuff, Joe. Like during the concert, he doesn't really get a chance to like break away, right? Like it's all choreographed and planned because there's time constraints and whatever.
Right.
So it's cool that he had like his little platform to just like put it all out there. You know, it was awesome.
Before we wrap things up, anything else that we would like to add about your experience in general?
I think that, you know, through social media, there's a lot of people who are hesitant to go or go alone. And this is such a safe space for people to create friendships and make memories. And so we're lucky that we have the three of us to do this with, and, you know, all the crazy new kid stuff that we do. But if you're out there and you're someone who isn't, you know, doesn't have that, or you've never been before, I think you could probably attest to that too a bit as a first timer. It's a very fun experience that I really wish everyone could have it.
The people were lovely. It was just getting to know each other was lovely. Lots of respect, lots of joy and enthusiasm, and the opportunity to meet so many people in person that I'd only known through social media or Zoom calls.
Yeah.
You know, I had a bit of that because I'm up in Canada. I'm real far up in Canada. So I'm far away from everybody. So it was really, even throughout the summer, through the mixtape tour, to be able to go down and meet like the West Coast friends, and it's been an amazing year, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know?
Agreed. Totally.
I love that.
Yeah. And Gacke Girls, oh my goodness, I love you guys, and I'm so glad I finally got a chance to talk with you. I was nervous. I'm nervous because it's like the first time we've ever like hung out.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to know you now.
And next cruise, we're gonna get together and hang out.
I would love that.
Awesome.
And maybe do
Karaoke
the red
night.
carpet, big karaoke night. Maybe, you know, get a red carpet thing going. It'll be really fun.
That's awesome.
I love it.
All right. You have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Join me next week for more tales of our adventures out at sea with the new kids on the block.